Hello everyone and welcome back to more Thrift Store anime reviews. Same rules as last time, I have to review anime but only based on what was on the DVD that I bought at a thrift store, and they're all just random anime that I have never heard of before. And the first one up on our list of things to review is Night Hunters, Weiss Dead Ringer. Now, out of all of these three titles, only one of them is the actual original title, which was Weiss, in English, White Cross, but I believe the official English release refers to this anime just as simply Night Hunters. I don't know what Dead Ringer means. I don't know why that's at the bottom. Picked up this DVD at the thrift store. It was pretty cheap, which is usually very telling. On here it contains 5 episodes. Yes, those old school DVD releases didn't have a lot going for them. Now when I pop this DVD and we go to that main menu, this is the first thing I see. I swear they're not gay. This is not yaoi. No, these guys are a part of an assassination group actually called Weiss, and they go out on various missions to basically kill bad guys. I like to think of them as like the male version of Charlie's Angels. And when they're not out there killing villains, they spend all their time together working at a flower shop. I swear, they're not gay. Now, this anime, based on what I have seen of it, which is just these 5 episodes, is kind of objectively bad. The production quality really just isn't there. And I understand it's an older anime. We treat this older retro anime with such a high standard because modern anime is so well animated, so well done. Maybe I'm just expecting too much, but I don't think so. I think no matter what time period you're doing an anime in, you should know how to animate a ball bouncing. I mean, that's kind of the first thing most animators learn how to do. Are my standards too high, guys? I don't know. Let me know in the comments section. It's not the worst I've ever seen, don't get me wrong, but the very most I can say about it is that it's passable. Furthermore, the storytelling and pacing is just kind of all off.
Yeah.
Like the very first episode where you're just getting introduced to, Weiss and the first mission and everything. You get these 2 side characters in the beginning who we've never met before. They just pop on screen, right? They're saying goodbye to each other. We establish that they're in a relationship, and like as this dude is leaving on his motorcycle, a car literally just drops on him. And there's something kind of comedic about it. Yes, we were following the car before. We knew that the car was an issue somewhere, but literally falling from the sky and crushing this guy to death? Our first introduction to them is, "Bye, honey," crushed by a car. This is how the writers think that 2 storylines should connect to each other. Probably one of the better episodes might have been episode 5, which was the last one on this DVD. In it, it features one of the guys from Weiss getting into this relationship with this cute biker chick, right? And part of the reason why I like this episode is because I feel like the relationship feels kind of real. I feel like the flirting feels cute. I'm a sucker for romance, of course. But the way that they connect it with the assassin storyline really sucks. It's really bad. Like, they set it up so that these bad guys are selling this water that's supposed to have cool vitamins in it. But instead it just has like this addictive chemical that will just kill you eventually. I don't know why they're selling this water. What do they gain from having women just drink water and be killed? I don't think they ever explained it. But his girlfriend is like drinking the water, and like the way we resolve this is he learns that the water has this chemical in it. He tells her to stop drinking it, and she's like, okay, and that's it. That's it. That's all. He also lies to her about like going with her because she's leaving for work. He never shows up at the airport because everyone else in Weiss is like, oh, we can't have relationships, bro. So he just ghosts her, and she's like sitting all sad on the plane. But then we end the episode with her smiling because she sees like a flower and she's reminded of him. I don't think it works like that, writer. If she saw a flower that reminded her of the guy who ditched and dumped her, I don't think she would smile. I think she would be pretty pissed. This show is a bit of a mess, but I don't hate it for plot reasons exactly. I think the idea of a group of assassins killing bad guys is pretty neat. I like random German words and Japanese things. Yeah, Weisskreuz. And who knows, maybe once I get over the hump of the first 5 episodes, it gets better eventually. But from what I saw, it just wasn't there. You know, this anime just wasn't quite there in terms of quality. But I can say the dub is kind of funny. And one of the best things that this DVD has going for it is that they have bloopers. Yep, that's right, they have bloopers for the dub, and I would highly recommend watching them.
Does he get killed? Well, that was a great relationship. Thanks for the memories.
But overall, Night Hunters, kinda meh. If you wanted something on in the background that you didn't have to pay too much attention to, it's not that bad. There are certainly worse things to put on, but I wouldn't go actively seeking this out. Next up on the list, X-Driver! And on this DVD, we have extras. Oh, look at that big list of extras. Crew interviews, bonus clip, just one. You only get one bonus clip. Scene access. Oh, that's an important one. Interactive menu! I think what they mean by the interactive menu is that they stylized the menu to look like a gear shift, which is kind of a cool idea, except, I don't know what any of these fucking letters mean. Now, unfortunately, X-Driver, the DVD, only had 3 episodes on it, which is surprising because the series in total only has 6 episodes. I think if you really wanted to, you probably could have put all 6 episodes on one DVD, even if you had to remove the bonus clip. I would be okay with you removing the bonus clip if I got all 6 episodes on one DVD. But no, unfortunately, I will have to review this just based on the 3 episodes. Now, X-Driver takes place in the near future, where we have self-driving cars. And that is the main theme of the show, is that we have AI self-driving cars, and occasionally they go out of control. They go out of whack and they try to kill people and just run everybody over, run off a bridge, etc., etc. And so there is an organization of X-drivers who drive real cars, and they have to go stop the AI cars, usually by shooting some goo gun at their sensors. In fact, I'm not really quite sure why you need more than one driver to go after an AI car. It kind of seems like it would be more efficient if you just had one car, a person in the passenger's seat be the one shooting, but instead, like, you're driving and you pull out the goo gun, and this organization needs some department of efficiency or something to figure out the best way to handle these AI runaway cars. But despite the innate silliness behind kinda the plot and how it's put together, I do actually kind of like it. And I might even be so bold to say this was my favorite out of the stack of DVDs that I am reviewing today. The animation is gorgeous, it's pretty top tier, the characters are pretty fun and pretty likable, and based on just these 3 episodes alone, I have, you know, a lot of faith moving forward in the series. We have these 2 main girls who are the X-drivers, and I guess also going to high school. And then some newcomer shows up, and he's the new X-driver, and he's being put on their team. But the main character, Lisa, she don't want him on her team because he's just a little kid, and he also is in their class. How old is he actually supposed to be? Let me look this up. Okay, Soichi is 12 years old. And he doesn't really drive a real car like the two other girls. He drives kind of like a slingshot car or a go-kart car or something. But he does drive, and he's very good at driving. And they kind of make this joke in the first episode where Lisa is at first really excited because she's like, oh, finally a driver who's better than me. But then she finds out that he's only 12 and she's super disappointed.
Finally get to meet my dream man!
What are you doing, ma'am?
Huh? Ma'am? It's a kid!
Let me introduce you to your new partner.
Which of course leads into the fact that she doesn't want him on the team at all. Now I don't know if they're trying to do some kind of Shota romance between her and the kid character, but like based on what I've watched, it doesn't seem like it's going in that direction. It seems like it's genuinely a buddy cop thing where they just learn to work together and there is no romantic feeling. But of course, that's just based on the few bits that I've watched. I think one of the nicer things about the DVD is that they have these nice clips of the crew going out there and actually going go-kart racing for material to use for creating the anime. It's nice when you see animation productions and the team behind the animation actually having fun instead of, working in a sweatshop. But other than that, there's kind of nothing really going for buying the DVD. Overall, enjoyed X-Driver. And then we get to our last DVD to review. And just like last time, we're ending on a movie. And this is an interesting one, or at least it has an interesting history. Blade of the Phantom Master. This one was the cheapest of the bundle. Unlike most anime, this does not take place in Japan. It takes place in ancient Korea, and it is based on Korean folktale. Because yes, this is not based on a manga, it is based on a manhwa. It is based on a Korean manga, yes. Historically, according to the wiki page anyway, this was the first South Korean and Japanese collaboration on an anime. Even more so, you'll find that there's a couple of reboots for the original. There's even a webtoon version of this same story. I've not read the webtoon, I've not read any of the other iterations of the story, but I have watched the movie, and we're going to be reviewing the movie. So when we first begin the movie, we get a little bit of a lore dump on the Amanosa, these people who can summon an army of like phantoms, right? Hence, the title Phantom Master. And there are not many Amanosa left because the kingdom where they originated, the king persecuted them for finding corruption, and eventually the kingdom itself just fell apart. Our main character is an Amanosa, and he's just kind of wandering through the desert until he finds this guy who saves his life by giving him water. And this kind gentleman then opens up to him to say that he himself was thinking about becoming an Amanosa because he wants to save his girlfriend who's been kidnapped by this evil lord. And this kind gentleman listens to his criticisms and kind of takes it into account. He's like, okay, maybe I don't have to become an Amanosa, but I still want to, do something to save her. And then he immediately gets killed.
I can win her back through my own strength.
Now, you would think this is the part where, main character Amanosa summons his phantoms, right, to fight for him? Nah. Instead, he uses this kind gentleman's dead body as a shield to protect himself, and then offers it up to the monsters so that he can escape. Basically, what I'm getting at is, the main character's a fucking douche. And this is consistent throughout the entire movie. I understand that they're trying to make him edgy and kinda estranged from people. But just the whole movie, he's just a douche and I don't like him. And there's really just kinda nothing that makes up for the fact that I don't like the main character. But it only gets worse from there because then he he has paper magic, right? So he writes a fucking rune on the paper and he can do things with it. So he uses one of those to disguise himself as the dead guy and then shows up, takes off the disguise, and stomps on fucking dead guy's face. You know why? Because he believed and had optimism. Fuck that guy. Bro, Stop! This is supposed to be like his way of rallying up the people to go fight against the Lord. I don't feel very inspired watching it. And then the girlfriend is like hypnotized into fighting against the main character, but she regains her will, is later informed by a main character that her boyfriend's dead. I don't think there's anything left actually of her boyfriend's body because the main character fed him to a bunch of monsters and then blew him up. Yeah, sorry about that. To make matters even worse, she like immediately gets attached to the main character, decides to follow him and become his bodyguard, which is apparently just a normal thing that some Aminosa have bodyguards, but they're not allowed to have wives. This was originally the reason why she learned to fight in the first place, because she wanted to be her actual boyfriend's bodyguard. The fact that she wants to now be main character's bodyguard instead, it's kind of just like she's replacing her dead boyfriend with the main character, which is kind of icky. It's kind of icky, not liking it. Just to recap, this guy fed a dead man's body to monsters, blew it up, paraded around town with his face, stomped on his face and mocked him, and then stole his girlfriend? That's how we're opening the movie? That's just the first 20 minutes? Who wrote this? He even stole his pet bat. Why? But yeah, the actual main story of the movie, it's a little bit cliche. It's the type of plot that I've seen in a couple different anime before. I can't say for sure where this plot originated, of course, but it follows just a town of people who, you know, all rely on this one priest or whatever who's a miracle worker. You know, he saved all our lives. But then the plot twist in the end is that their lives were never saved at all and they've actually been dead this whole time. What I don't understand is, like, why did the main character even have to reveal to this town that they were all dead this whole time? Like, what? They weren't doing anything. They were kind of just like living in peace amongst themselves. It's not like the priest was trying to have them go to war or something. I understand that, like, if the main character was a religious person and they were like, oh, well, you should pass on because that's my belief, is that you should all pass on. But he's not really religious. Why do you care if a bunch of dead people are just continuing their lives? Also, apparently he can create clones with those paper charm things, and those clones can shoot real physical bullets that really, like, hit their target. So what is the point of the Phantom Army exactly? Couldn't you just draw a bunch of fucking runes on papers and just have a bunch of you that just go out shooting everybody? They barely do anything throughout the movie. Gotta be honest with you guys. They kind of like show up and maybe do something for like 30 seconds before they disappear and they're not important anymore. Now, I can understand somebody watching this and having a good time. I'm not saying that it is an objectively unenjoyable movie, but it was very unenjoyable for me. I didn't find the main character to be likable at all, and I think the story itself is kind of twisted. While this is probably objectively better than Night Hunters, I think I enjoyed it less than Night Hunters. But if you do get the DVD, you can see a making of video that was made, you know, talking about the whole process of making this movie, and it is pretty interesting. They also show you things like storyboards and production sketches, and they interview the voice cast. So at least I can say that the special features on this DVD are not too shabby.
Congratulations! Congratulations! Congratulations!
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are 3 new Thrift Store anime reviews. And if you would like to see more videos like these, if you'd like me to go back to the Thrift Store and pick up 3 more DVDs, please let me know down below in the comments section. And if you yourself have watched or finished any of these series, let me know what you think about it. Especially if you grew up watching some of these, because these are definitely all anime I've never heard of before in my life. Although I can tell that somebody out there grew up with this and is probably very nostalgic for these series. So if you are out there, let me know you exist. But of course, if you have made it to the end of the video, then it is time for me to shill, because I have my own comic series that I've been cooking up, and it's called Reaper. You can get book 1 and book 2 right now. We're crowdfunding its release. We've already raised past the original goal, which is good because it means people are interested in it. You can also tune in every now and then and watch me drawing pages live here on the channel. Reaper is about our main character Ichabod there, who is cursed by a revenant sword and is looking for a cure. So reluctantly, he accepts the help from an akin stranger in order to get him to his destination. We are currently crowdfunding on both Kickstarter and Fund My Comic. For those of you who are not big Kickstarter fans, don't even worry about it. I got you covered. Links are in the description. Please do check it out. As usual, guys, thank you for watching. Thanks for putting up with me. Thanks for liking the video, subscribing, and commenting down below, because I know you did that. You definitely did that. And I'll see you next time, right here on the Dan Fan channel. Bye!